And we are live. I hope this time is actually going to work. I just tried to go live a minute ago and I seem to have some technical difficulties. Now let me just double check if we are live. Okay, let's see. Okay, it's not popping up. Hold on, switch channel, Infinite Cinema. All right. Looks like it's upcoming. I don't know if it's upcoming. No, we are live here. Okay, it seems to be working. Okay, good. Now let's just check if the audio is good. Okay, looks fine. Cool. So if you're in here, make sure to say hi. So I know that I'm not alone. And of course, hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm because it feels so good. Yeah, so today we're going to be working on some green screen, After Effects, Blender video. So it's yeah. Ellie Pattis is in here. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today, unfortunately, I'm not going to have her on the screen. I can put her on the screen, actually. Let's see, where do we have Ellie? I just uploaded her today. Let's see, this one. We made this cool scene today, or I finished this cool scene today. This is Ellie. This is not Ellie. Ellie is this person here. Yeah. So Ellie in the comments, if you want to follow her, you should definitely do that right now. Cool. And again, if you're joining the stream, make sure to like this stupid live stream. Cool. So today, like I said, we're going to be working on some green screen effects. I'm just going to be waiting until a few people join. Tune in here. Yeah. Let me sure to have this chat popped up. Okay, cool. All right. Again, say hi when you're in here, and then we can get started. Yeah, this scene here was pretty cool. I did that scene in my last live stream. If you missed my last live stream, you still can check it out. I made it there. It's like it's basically two Blender scenes. It's like one, the monster passing behind her, and another one, another monster. Actually, it's not the same. Poking the head in. Good times. And she's like, let's watch movies together. Very funny, fun concepts, hilarious. Ali's greatest work of art. Anyways, that's what we're going to be working on today, this emo guy here. So, I hope you are excited as I am. This is the scene we're working on. I just shot it, I literally just shot it downstairs in my garage, and this guy is playing with his lighter, and there's some police light going on to his left, our right. And look at this stupid grin. He's smiling. He's mischief. He's up to no good. So yeah, it's and today we're gonna, or tonight, it's like 11:23 right now. Tonight he's gonna be doing something cool. I'm not exactly sure what the scene is gonna be about, but I do have an idea. And of course, since we are in a live stream, I'm always willing to include your guys' ideas. So yeah, let's make it as collaborative as possible. First things first, though, we need to key out the green screen, and it's gonna be a pretty rough of a job because, as you can see, the green has lots of different green colors here. Like this is a brighter, this is darker, this is like mid green. So we're probably gonna be working with different keyers today, but let's just see how far we can get with one. So we're going to duplicate my layer here and use the key light 1.2. keying, key line 1.2. Now I'm gonna pick a green, something in the middle. Let's pick that one. Now we can see automatically how good of a job this keyer did. It did okay. I would say 5 out of 10. Maybe 4 out of 10. It's actually not great, but we'll see how much we can squeeze out of this. So we're going to be editing this in screen mat, because here we can actually see what is it keying out and is it not keying out. So everything what is white is going to stay. Everything what is black is going to be gone. So this is perfectly black. This is like perfect green is going to be gone. This is not perfectly black, so this is going to be transparent. Just like this gray areas here. It's not going to be perfectly visible. So we're going to be working on the blacks to make the blacks as black as we can. And the whites as white as we can. And blacks blacker. Yeah, so we're crunching this a lot right now. And I don't think this is going to work. So that's why it's good to work with multiple keyers. But we're just going to see how much we can get away with. Yeah. Because now if I turn on like final result, you could see it is fine, but it's not perfect. But the final result does not really matter, because what we're actually going to do is we're going to use the upper layer here, this here. We're just going to use the black and white as a mask. And the lower layer here is what is going to use it as a mask. So it's a pretty neat trick I picked up in film school, actually. So that way you can crunch the contrast on this and still key it out pretty good. So you see those edges are not great, but that doesn't really matter. The bigger problem is like really those areas here. This here obviously is going to be a problem, but since I'm going to be sitting on the ground, I'm sure I can, you know, in Blender I'm going to put some objects there and hide that a little. But let's see how good of a key we can actually get out of here. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how long we're going to be streaming for, because it's, see, even especially with the police lights, it's going to be even harder to see how it's like bringing the green back. It's the first time I'm keying out a scene like that where there's like police lights and stuff like that. So that's going to be hilarious. I don't know if it's even going to be doable to key this out with the green screen, or if I just have to rotoscope it. And I might have to do that. But we'll see, because that's what we got right now. That's not great. Let's see. I'm just going to leave this alone. I'm just going to copy this, and I'm just going to try to rotoscope this. Maybe it's going to be the better result. Yeah, that might actually work better. We'll see. Because, you know, there is not always just one way to do things, so yeah, in the end it's gonna be fine. It's just a little fun project. It's not like I'm working for like a client or anything. It's just for me. I had this stupid idea and figured, why don't I make this idea in a live stream, so we get to hang out, have some quality time. Okay, so having just one frame, I don't know what's me and what is background right now, something like that. the thing is, if I don't know it, the audience is not gonna know it. Especially the computer is not gonna know it. Yeah. I'm just trying to do a good job. It's actually one of the first times that I use the rotoscope tool on a green screen scene, because usually I can just use the keyer and it works magically, automatically actually, but not this time. Okay, let's see if that's gonna work. Let's fix this a little more. All those feet fans are gonna be busting all kinds right now. Just trying to cut out my foot. Not cut off my foot. This is shadow, this is fine. Okay. Now what I'm gonna do is play it frame by frame. It is 16 seconds long, so that could actually take quite some time, but we'll see. The good thing is there's not much movement involved. I'm just lighting the fire, and eventually I'm just gonna move my head a little, so there's not that much movement. I see already, like, this is already no good. It's jumping back and forth because the police light's going back and forth, so maybe it's gonna be okay. Let's see where we are. Okay. But yeah, this is like the magic of rotoscoping. I do have to do that manually, but the result in the end is pretty much the same like green screen. Maybe a little worse, but we'll see. Yeah. So yeah, let's talk about the idea what I had for this scene. I was thinking, since he's like playing with fire or so, he's sitting on the ground. He maybe just set a house on fire, you know, and the house could be like somewhere like behind him, maybe here, or maybe right behind him. Maybe it's shot on like a longer lens. I can't fake the lens too much because this is like shot on like a wide angle. So I should keep the digital lens also on like a 24, maybe 35 mil, but not go too crazy there. But I feel like the rotoscope works fine. Jasmine is in here. And Ali is in here. All the friends are in here. Finally, you guys made it into the same chat. Yeah. So that's the plan. Having a burning building, like right behind him, could be a burning car too. Who knows? But something burning. I want it to burn. That's why I put like those warm lights behind me. There's one here and one right behind me. You obviously can't see it because I'm blocking it. But yeah, it's like you can see that I'm like lit from the back with warm light. It's also actually flickering. But yeah, oh, we're almost done. And yeah, that's gonna be cool. This is my scene now, and then we can watch it actually fast. I don't know if the scene is going to be any good, but let's just hope so. Okay, now that I rotoscoped it and I'm happy with it, I'm just going to adjust the settings here a little bit. 15 feather, reduce chatter, let's say 5. Jasmine says, sorry, I can only here and there watching. I can only watch here and there because she has to work. Funny. I'm working too, kind of. Shifting the edge. Okay. So now I'm going to freeze my rotoscope. This is going to take a few minutes because this is a very long scene on rotoscoping. But freezing basically means that I'm baking the rotoscope, and that usually takes a while. See, I clicked on it like 10 seconds ago. It's like still on 2%. Yeah, but this is gonna be good times here. While this is happening, let's go through other scenes I've been working on lately. So this you guys seen in my last live stream. If you joined in, yeah, this is pretty good. I actually only worked on the back scene. We didn't work on this monster in the front together because that would have been like another few hours of live streaming, and I didn't want to go that long. So yeah, we only worked on the back monster here, and yeah, I'm very happy with that, especially with the front here. I see how his tongue is like wiggling back and forth. I actually did that in Blender in as a what is it called? A cloth simulation. This is like his tongue is a cloth simulation, so it's like wiggling around. It's very cool. Yeah, and the back is just a normal walking animation I took from Mixamo. What is this? Okay. Yeah, very happy with that. Oopsie. Heyo, I finally able to attend the live stream again. Was Warden, welcome to my live stream. Yeah, we're just we started working on the scene already. I just rotoscoped my green screen footage, but I'm freezing my layer. That's why we're taking a little time to go through the recent videos I've made. Ellie says it's gross. I love it. Yeah, this is what the monster actually looked like before here. This is what it looked like. I was just walking back and forth. I actually planned on using this face, but then it was not detailed enough for a close-up, so I decided to go with another model for the close-up of the face. So there was just the body passing, and for the close-up, use this guy. So we have Was Warden in here, Ali Pettis, Bafson, CG. Welcome to my live stream. Everybody who's joining in, make sure to like this live stream because I live on those live stream, on those likes on this live stream. So make sure to give it a little thumbs up. You know, makes me happy. So everybody who just joined in, once again, I rotoscoped some green screen footage because the key here did not work because I have a police light going back on and off in the background, and that messed up the entire green screen. And since I'm shooting my green screen footage in my garage, it's quite tricky. There's like no way to light my green screen separately. That'd be great, but I don't have that privilege. So I really, you know, need to figure it out in post. But that's what we do here. We figure it out in post. But you guys let me know how you guys are doing. Any cool work any cool scenes you're working on? Any cool projects? Anything interesting? I know Ali is in what is it, New Mexico right now, working on a show. Was Warden says that's awesome. I've been applying the tips from the tutorial you made on enhancing Blender renders in After Effects. Yeah, this is I actually have a few more tips and tricks. Maybe if you stick around for longer, I have more. There's always more, but one important tip I don't think I was talking about in the tutorial, because I wanted to make like a part 2 and part 3. Camera shake. I'm not sure if I was talking about camera shake in this video. There is depth of fields you can add in post. You can add vignettes. You can add glares. There's like so many things you can do in post and After Effects, and not even just with CG scenes. You can do that with any kind of scenes. Like if you shoot like a film, like let's say we have this thing as an example again. The things I added in post to make this look like more real, I did a lot. I was talking about the optical dispersion. I can't zoom in here, but you know what I mean. It's like getting on those edges, it gets like fringy. It's got red and blue lines. So I did that, obviously. But I was talking about that part and also in the tutorial. I have, of course, the focus shift. You see how this guy, he's in focus. The background suddenly is in out of focus. Now, Hold on. See, the focus is shifting on her from him, and all that is done in After Effects. That was not done in Blender. In Blender, he was in focus the entire time, and I shot it the way that she was in focus the entire time. So shifting focus in After Effects is also a thing, but it's like a whole different subject, which I would need to talk about more in a separate video. Let's see how this is going. It's going to take forever. But we're almost there, 43%. And since this is a live stream and we got time, no problem. So again, for everybody who just tuned in, we're going to be working on this scene today. So we see myself, I just shot this stuff in my green screen downstairs. I'm sitting on the ground, lighting a lighter, and I look pretty depressed. Eventually, you're going to see me looking up, pretty happy, looking straight into the camera. So I did something very mischievous. I've been a naughty boy. And I was thinking we're going to add this green screen into a Blender scene, and maybe I'm going to set a house on fire. Like something like in the background would be cool if something was set on fire. So we're going to do all that in Blender. The fire itself, though, I think we're going to do in Embergen. Bafs and CG said, I love this one. I assume you were talking about this scene. Yeah, I like it too. It's like very simple, and this is like I said, it's like a collaboration with Ali, of course, but also with After Hour Cinema. This is maybe Ali, if you're still in here, you can explain better what it's for. I think it's like for like ad breaks when they have like, you know, they show movies. There's like ad breaks, and she's gonna be like, oh, After Hour Cinema is back on. So basically the movie's back on, and it's basically the end of an ad break, and then we showed this one. So it's like a little collaboration, but maybe if Ali is still in here, so she can explain better what it's for. Was Warden, yes, Embergen. We can make fire with Embergen. I think I've done it like somewhere already. Did I do something with Embergen here? Yeah, no. So basically with Embergen, you can make stuff like that. This one in particular, I did not do with Embergen. Okay, Ali is explaining AHC shows and breaks using horror hostesses. Yeah, what she said. Oh, look. Babson CG, you're in here in my comments. Look at that. But yeah, this scene in particular I did not make with Embergen. I actually did this in Blender. Big mistake. If you can afford Embergen, then you should use it, because for scenes like that, it's like just so much faster. Let me see where I have something with Embergen. This is Embergen. Good morning from Germany. Death Planet Films is in the house. Welcome to my live stream. So this is done with Embergen. You see all this smoke or the sand is blasting towards the camera. We have this sand monster getting up in the background. It's a Mixamo simulation animation. I threw this into Embergen, so I have like this sand smoke simulation. It's pretty cool, and it was so much fun working on that. So oopsie, I was working on that. Then I used basically the same where did I find this? I used the same Embergen simulation and basically made this scene, and it's exactly the same. I have like the water smoke blasting towards the camera. I have the same Embergen simulation in the background, but obviously I adjusted the colors a little, the materials, so it's like waterish, but it's the same scene. So what we got here? Sheesh, famous people gathering in Phil's live stream. Sheesh. I didn't know people were still saying sheesh. Okay, Ali clarified a little. Maybe it's clearer to say I'm a horror hostess for After Hour Cinema and film made me look amazing. That's exactly what happened. Horror film hostess for After Hour Cinema. Yeah. And that's Baby Destroying a City. Yeah. Let's see how it goes. 78%. That's why visual effects take so long to make, because sometimes we just have to wait for the computer for so long. For something like that, which is not really necessary what I'm doing right now, is I'm just freezing the rotoscope so I can work with it more smoothly. But yeah. Hey, Ellie, you're a famous person now. I'm honored to have you on in front of the computer, in front of the lens sometimes. Yeah. This is also Ellie. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. There she is. Bam. Isn't she pretty? Just kidding, that's not Allie. Where do we have Allie? She is somewhere here. And this is Allie. After Hour Cinema. AHC is After Hour Cinema. It's like a TV channel thing. And yeah, Allie is a horror film hostess there. Oh, Death Planet Films and Ellie Pettis, I tried to connect you. I don't know if it worked out, like acting, filmmaking wise. I don't know if you guys talked, but you definitely should, because Death Planet Films does horror short films, and Ellie loves to act in those, so I feel like it's perfect. The cinematic and color grading you do are amazing. Thank you so much. This scene here was actually pretty funny. That was like all 2D animation. There's like no 3D involved. I made this scene like 7 years ago, very long time ago, for like a film which never made it out. But yeah, I would love to make something like that again. But what we're gonna do today is actually very similar. There's no explosion. We're just gonna have something burn, but very similar to that. But you know, here most of it is real, or actually everything in this shot is real. The fire is real, and you know, the debris and all that is, everything here is real, just, you know, composited together. What we're gonna do today though, nothing is real, just I'm real. Everything else is gonna be fake, or not fake, but CG. So it's hopefully we can gain or achieve some kind of photorealism, but we're gonna see. Okay, this is done now, so now we can actually watch this, and we see the key is not perfect, especially here, but we'll see. It's gonna be fine. Okay, so this is what we're gonna render out, just a 2D image on the transparent background, and then I'm gonna bring that into After Effects. So first what I'm gonna do is just bring this to the center, right here. What is it? My friend, how can I get RotoBrush 3.0? You don't have it? It's in the latest After Effects version. I don't know what version I have. Let me save this real quick before something crashes. Linear experiment, set on fire. Set on fire, green screen. Yeah, it's just in the latest After Effects version. I don't know. How do I figure out what version I'm on? But yeah, just download the latest After Effects, and then you're gonna have RotoBrush 3.0. Or the After Effects beta, then you're probably gonna have something more recent, but yeah, 3.0 is great. Since 2.0 it really improved, if you ask me, the rotor brush. Yeah, that's good stuff. Anyways, so that's what we have now, and I'm gonna bring this, render this out, pre-render. Let's call it set on fire, green screen. Okay. Now, very important, you don't want to just render in high quality. What you need is high quality and alpha. And for that, you need to render at least in Apple ProRes 4444. So you can render in RGB and alpha. Otherwise, you're not going to have the transparent background. Okay, let's render this thing. It's probably going to take a second. But once this is done, we're going to start working in Blender. What else do we have? Oh yes, Ali and I wrote about doing a movie together. It would be so cool. Yeah, I love it when people, like creative people, collaborate together who have like the same interests. Yeah, Ali and I, we shot a bunch of horror films together. Horror films is not really my thing, or I like to watch them. To make them is like it was new to me. But I think I did a decent job. I shot a few. They're all on my Infant Cinema channel in case you haven't seen them yet. Yeah. And again, we have to wait for 6 minutes or so until this is done. But while we're waiting, we can already start setting up our Blender scene. I'm starting Blender. It's Blender 4.1. Here, this is my current placeholder. I still have to find a name for him because his name is just Young Guy Keeps His Hands in Pockets. But I still have to find a real name for him. I used to have Michal in here. Ali Pettis, I found AHC on Insta with Plastic Horror. Is this the right one? I mean YouTube. I think it's the right one. Yeah, After Hour Cinema. I don't know those people. I just did the project for them, and I hope they're gonna like it. If not, they're gonna be dead to me. I get nightmares from watching horror films, and every time I'm in a similar situation like the horror film, I imagine the scene that scares me. Yeah, horror films can be scary, but that's the whole point, isn't it? Anywho, we're here to set up our scene. So the first thing I do is I'm going to use this guy, bring him into the ground because this is kind of the height I'm going to be sitting in. Bring the camera more or less the same like I was shooting, so 24 mil. I might go a little longer, but that was the kind of position. So this is basically my placeholder. Okay, so now behind him, like somewhere here, I'm gonna put a house. For now, again, just a placeholder. Just how big is the house? Let's make it like this. You see, it's 7 meters tall now. It's a big house. I think houses can be like 4 meters or so. Something like that. So also going to bring it further back. So this is going to be the building. It's going to be burning like that. Okay. And also, I had a police car somewhere here. When I look at my green screen scene, you can, you can see that I had a police lights right next to me here on the right. So it could be off screen. It probably will be, but what I'm gonna do is just put a car there. Right now I'm just gonna put another placeholder there. That's a great way to, you know, to set up your scene. Just make placeholders, you know. Here, this is the ground. Figure out what the ground is, because right now, yeah, this is sitting on the ground. This is not sitting on the ground. There we go. Yeah, just more or less. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just more or less, it has to be sitting on the ground. So in case you wonder what I'm up to here, I'm just building my scene more or less. So I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to put what. So this is going to be the car. Maybe it's going to be like sideways, maybe like this, facing us, maybe not. I want the car. It should be facing the police car, the burning house, and like this, maybe. I usually just skip placeholders and go straight towards the final cut. I do that too very often, but I feel like this makes it easier to just build it up first, you know where everything's going to be, and then you can replace the object with its actual objects. And then you're actually going to know what are you going to need, because maybe if you just start with the final scene and then you're going to have more and more in there, and then in the end you're not going to see any of that anyway. So I like to do it that way. Let me just check how high this thing is. Z. How tall is the car? I think a car is a little, like 1.5 meters or so. Yeah, something like that. Okay. So let's say this is a car, but we're gonna see after I put in some cars in here. Okay. What else could I have? Definitely a ground. I need a ground. Plane. Scale it up. And of course, it has to be also on ground 0. Apply the scale, because I might actually use the ground. Yeah, the size of the building might change. Also, yeah, if the building, because I'm not gonna make the house myself, I'm just gonna import something, and if it's going to be bigger than this, then I'm just going to bring it further back. And right now, so this, I don't need any ground in front. Just gonna like this. Okay, something like that. All right, what else can I do? So I'm definitely gonna import. It's gonna be a tricky one, because I always like to add because I'm gonna have a VDB in here. It's gonna be like, fire and stuff. But also I want like a volume scatter box, so everything is gonna be hazy. So yeah, we'll see. Because usually having VDBs, multiple VDBs and volume boxes in one scene, like penetrating each other, it's always tricky, and sometimes it just doesn't do a good job. For some reason, it's just I get like artifacts and stuff like that. Yeah. So I definitely need to put something in front of him. Maybe, maybe like we're gonna see what I have to cover. I'm sure I have to cover something in front of him, but maybe I have to put like what is like a fuel barrel or something, like that in front of him, like, because he just set it on fire, right? So something like put it on the ground here. What's an artifact? Sorry, it's a dumb question. Let me show you what I mean, because I actually have some example of that. Let me go on my YouTube page. That's my live stream. Video. I'll show you what I mean exactly, because here, VDB tornado, and this is the first time I noticed that. Here. So in this scene, I have volume all over in the entire scene, but also this here is also a volume. And look at this. See those edges here? This is not how it's supposed to be. Let me go back. I don't know if you can see this here. It's also here on the bottom. Let me not use the mouse right now, but those are artifacts. That's not how it's supposed to be. And that, I realize that happens when you mix two VDBs or volumes with each other, then that's what happens. And in my recent scene I made, let's go to my shorts. Where is this? Here. You can also see it here and there a little, but I was already aware of this problem, so I tried to avoid it. Yeah, you can't really see it. I did a better job here. Where did I have it? Here I also had the same problem, but I also avoided it by having the smoke very low. So I also had different VDBs here, like one big cloud the car is flying through, and one volume scatter very low to the ground, basically fading in. Yeah. Anyways, our After Effects thing still going. 1 more minute. It's definitely not helping that I'm like streaming and what is it? Working in Blender while After Effects is rendering, so it takes a little longer. How can I get Embergen? Well, that's very easy. You go on the Embergen website and buy it, or I think it's subscription based. Embergen. But the cool thing is, it's on Django FX, that you can download their free things for free, like free VDB assets, and that's a lot of stuff I did just with those assets. The tornado you guys saw earlier was this one we don't see right now. This is the tornado I used. This is like an emergent explosion. This is an emergent fire plume, and this is basically what I could be using for the thing what we're gonna do today. I could be using that. The problem is it's only 250 frames. In my thing here is going to be longer than that. That's why I have to make this here myself. But it is very cool. You get a lot of free assets here. You can just download and use in your scenes. But again, unfortunately, they're only like so many frames. But yeah. Right here you can download it or just view pricing. Here you can see how much it costs and stuff like that. The entire cloud or the entire thing costs $400 a year, I believe. Only Embergen is $300. Only GeoGen is $150. Yeah. I barely notice these details. Yeah, it's like you notice that when you work on it for like so much and so long, and sometimes you just see problems, or you know, I post all my work online so people make me aware of those problems, and then they're like, ah, what's going on? And then you know, I googled it, and it's just like a issue. I don't know, Cycles has with VDBs. Yeah, and then I just have to find workarounds until they fix it in Cycles. Oh, it's actually done already. It was just okay, cool. Now I can start with replacing my guy here. So wherever he is, I'm still gonna keep him, but I'm gonna Shift A and I'm gonna bring in my green screen character or myself. Oh, hold on, before I do that, let me save my scene. Set on fire. Set on fire. Embergen is node-based. Blender is also node-based. You're gonna see some nodes very soon. So yeah, it's both node-based, and as you know, After Effects is layer-based. And now that I've been working with both, I can't really tell you which one I prefer. Like layer-based is like very simple to me. It's like very easy to understand. But then it's, on the other hand, it's very primitive. Sometimes I just want to connect things differently. And nodes are just way better with that. But it's also harder for me to understand. And I've been working with Blender for like, I think about a year now. So it's been pretty fresh, but about a year I've been working with Blender. Oopsie. Yeah, for about a year I've been working with Blender, and I'm still getting used to it. You know, it's still, yeah, it's different. I always get confused with nodes, especially when making my own geometry nodes for Blender. Yeah, I don't mess with geometry nodes at all. I don't understand it. I don't like it. Maybe eventually I will mess with that more, but for what I do, not super necessary. Like here and there when I see people working with geometry nodes, I'm like impressed. I'm like, wow, you could do that with geometry nodes. I cannot, but I mostly do visual effects, so it's not super necessary for me, but eventually, yes, I will have to learn it. NSXEDITZ, what a crazy name, is in the house. Hey, bro, what's up? Nothing is up, just chilling around, just hanging out in the ground, as you can see. Bro, I'm gonna put you up to game real quick what I'm doing here. I had this green screen scene here. That's what it looks like. Oopsie. And trying to make something cool out of this. And we're gonna see if that's gonna work out. So my first job was to key this out. So I rotoscoped myself out. Exported this, and now I'm about to bring it into Blender. Here in Blender, I already started to set up my scene a little. The idea is I'm going to be sitting on the ground here, cross-legged, and there's going to be a police car next to me, and there's also going to be a burning house right behind me. So we're going to see how that's going to work out. I only use geometry nodes for like simple stuff you can do in After Effects, like making dust impact and sort, having a glow trail to make it look fast. Geometry node is like Houdini. I never really worked with Houdini. I saw people doing cool stuff with it. Yeah, the only things I do with nodes here is like I use the compositor. I use that a lot, but I would never do like geometry nodes. Like here, I wouldn't even know how to start. Like I'm already overwhelmed. I can like make a new thing. I don't know what can I add. Attribute input. I wouldn't even know. Geometry. Sample. I don't know. How do I make a cube? I don't even know. Mesh here. Mesh primitives. Cone cube. Should I make a cube now? Oh, there it is. Is that my geometry? Okay. Yeah, so... And now what do I do with it? Curve? Yeah, it's like I'm already overwhelmed. I don't want a simulation. No, I don't want to make it... Nah, I'm good. Maybe one day. See you later. Geometry nodes. Geometry nodes are crazy. I would need to watch a tons of tutorials to figure that out. Where's my guy? Why did he disappear? There he is. Bro, I've been watching you since the past 7-8 months. Seriously, you're working hard and I like your content. Thank you so much for noticing that. I have been working hard, and but I do have to work a little harder if I want to become the best. Should I put my things here? Can you read it better? Yeah. No. I've been working a lot. It's especially because, you know, I have my day job as a filmmaker and stuff like that, so I'm doing all this stuff on the side. Trying to keep up good content, and now starting to do more live streams too. I do have my new computer, this bad boy. You've seen it, I'm sure, before. I don't know how much you can see it right now. It's good stuff. Enjoying my new computer. Paid a lot of money for it, and I hope it's gonna treat me well. Anyways, finally I need to put in this green screen guy in here, otherwise I'm not gonna get done ever. So I'm gonna add my green screen guy as images as planes, import. There he is. I'm gonna bring him right here. Right on the position where my guy is. And also scale it up. No, not too much, because I want him to, the head should be like the same size. So I know everything is to scale. Okay. Perfect. Now I don't need my guy anymore. Cool. First step is done. Okay, well, now I can start working on the fun stuff. And we're gonna see how much I'm gonna make myself and how much I can actually use from Blender Kit. I'm always a fan to do as little as I can. Why am I typing Blender? I try always to do as little as possible myself. You know why? Because two reasons. First of all, I'm lazy, and I like to get to my results fast. Second of all, that's cool. I could even add a broken police car in the background. So, second of all, I'm not very good at this. Like, you always think, not always, I get a lot of shit also, but people always assume that I know what I'm doing, but I don't. I just take other people's work and make it work for myself. I always use my allowance and commission money on Blender add-ons from Blender Market. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, I try